One of the main things that attracted me to intermittent fasting are the benefits, and I'm just going to list off a few. And like I said, um, I'm not an expert in any of these things. I'm just telling you from my research. There's blogs, there's videos, there's endless supply of free information out there that you can go look up yourself. But some of the benefits that I think attracted me to it are I don't have diabetes, but it lowers your risk of diabetes. And as you know, um, we're experiencing a lot of young adults that have diabetes, and the amount of people that have this is increasing exponentially, and it's something that I guess I just like to kind of like a vehicle. I want to maintain it. I don't want to let it get to a bad state before I decide to invest in it. So it's things that I think to me are beneficial to do. And number two, it fights inflammation. I don't know if you work out or you do any kind of strenuous activity. Maybe you work in construction or some kind of hard labor, but it fights inflammation in the body. And, you know, I don't want to have any inflammation in my body or any tightness or soreness, but that's another reason why. It increases HGH for those of you that are all into bulking up and getting big or trying to do anything to get some kind of muscle definition. It increases that growth hormone naturally. Um, and it also reduces your chance of having cardiovascular. So those risks go down during fasting. Um, what's the best one? The best one, or the one that people really get attracted to, out of the reasons that I want to say, is it lowers body fat. I don't. This is why they drop it into the category of like a diet, but it's not a diet. I think you lose body fat because you learn to control your eating habits and you allow your body to process the nutrients that you've consumed. So you give your body an amount of time to go through and digest that and process it and burn up that energy. And I think that's why you lose the fat. So I don't think it's really a diet. It's just how you're allowing your body to process everything that you've consumed is what it comes down to, I guess, in my eyes. So those are some of the health benefits. The process that I follow, or what I go with, is the 12-8 method. And the 12-8 method, I don't know, to me it sounds simple, but to explain it to you in like how I do it in my day-to-day is from morning, or I guess the night before, but I'll start with the morning. From morning till noon, the only thing that I consume is, personally, the way I do it, is a lot of water, black coffee, and to switch it up, I drink sparkling water. Those are the three things that I consume from morning till noon. From noon to 8 is usually what I consider my eating window, and my eating window is not really restricted on like I can only consume this or that. I don't really set any restrictions. I kind of consume what I would normally consume. Yes, I've transitioned to try to add more health conscious items into my foods, like I don't know, Brussels sprouts, zucchini. I've added more greens into it, but that's just more of what I wanted to do. But I've heard of individuals that consumed what they used to consume and didn't really change their diet habits, just went into fasting and had great results and lost weight and fat. Um, so that's my eating window. And then at 8 p.m. to the next morning, it goes back to drinking water. I usually don't have coffee at nighttime. I don't know. Some people might want to have coffee. I have water and focus on resting and getting ready for the next day. And I apologize. I think earlier I said it's 12-8, but I do it's 6. I do the 16-8 method because I fast for a total of 16 hours and I have an 8-hour eating window. Um, And that's really kind of what my method consists of, and that's usually what I do. Um, some of the difficulties are at the beginning, that your stomach will be kind of growling and hungry, but like anything else, you get used to it, and after a while, you don't even notice it. And um, personally, I guess, like I mentioned earlier, the results that I've had is I dropped down from around 185 to today I'm at 165 in a period of about 2 months. And I think I feel great. I think um, the transition was slow. It wasn't like an overnight thing. There was weeks that I lost a pound. There was weeks where I lost 2 or 3. It varied, and also I exercise. So it's not like I don't do anything. I still exercise routinely. So I'm sure the rate that you will lose weight, etc., changes from person to person based on your physical activity, etc. Because you always have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. So it's really what you're doing. I kind of want to share some lessons learned. A few of the lessons that I learned during this, and these are the negatives, I guess, of it. The first is, if you're into like bulking or you're trying to get bigger or anything like that, I personally think it's not for you, because you have to be in a calorie surplus, and depending on how you work out, etc., I think it deters from that. So I don't know if that's something you would want to do. But I'm sure there's someone out there that's making it work for them. So hopefully they share what they are doing, and that can be helpful to you. So if someone's bulking and on intermittent fasting, feel free to comment or share your information or how you've accomplished that. The second one is, a lot of blogs, research states that you should have an increase of energy, productivity, focus, all these things. And personally, I can't claim to have experienced those effects. Um, I and maybe it depends on the person. Maybe if you're a little on the heavier side or overweight, maybe the starting of losing weight and burning the nutrients that you have in your body starts creating that energy and that productivity and that focus. But I didn't have any of those effects, or personally, I don't think I did. And I guess maybe that's just me. And then lastly, one of the things that I've learned is that you lose weight, I get it. But to me, this isn't a diet. This is something that you can maintain long term, and it's something you can do moving forward. I know that people would probably consider it a diet. I don't think it's a diet. I think it's something that you can implement into your day-to-day life, with the exception, like I said, I was talking about negative stuff. Depending on your schedule, this might be something that is difficult to do. And I'm not saying it is or it isn't, but I know that certain people have different schedules, families, etc. And having a window to eat, or scheduling your life around something like that, might make personally your life unhappy and more difficult. And so I think you have to identify if it's for you. But I know people that do the 16-8, but they carry around the app, and like if they have their first meal at 2 o'clock, they go from 2 to 10 or whatever. Like, people switch and adjust it to fit their needs. So maybe that'd be something you'd have to do. And the last, I guess, negative, I don't think there's a lot of negatives, but the last negative that I can think of or come up with that I feel like I identified is that your family would think you're crazy. So if you show up for breakfast at 10 and you're like, oh, sorry, I can't eat till noon, or your friends will then be like, what, bro? Like, what's wrong with you? And then if it gets super late and you're like, oh, I can't eat that late, So I know there'll be times that you maybe cheat a little bit or switch it up, but like I said, that next day just roll over or extend your fasting period and then go back to your normal schedule to make it work. That's something that I do. That being said, that's kind of how I use fasting in my personal life. And in a later vlog, I'll probably share some of the supplements that I'm taking and some of the things that I include into my daily, I guess, diet. And personally, I think intermittent fasting is a lifestyle. It's not a diet. It becomes part of your lifestyle. Hopefully the information I shared is helpful. If you guys have any questions, comment below. I'll do my best to address them and answer them. And just this disclaimer once again, I am not a subject matter expert. All the information that I've collected is from reading books, blogs, listening to podcasts, different information from different resources. But I will go ahead and share some films below and some research links, and feel free to check them out if they interest you. As always, thanks for tuning in to Rico Spot, and until next time, have a great day.